Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea, hope you're all well. So in this video, we're going to be looking at a couple of new pedals from Origin Effects. They've sent me two new pedals over that released recently. We've got the MEQ driver and the DCX Boost, both of which I'd seen on Instagram and socials and all that kind of stuff, and they sound awesome. If you've not heard of Origin Effects before, they make really good quality, great sounding, sturdy pedals for your pedal board. Everything from compressors to drives to, you know, like full amp recreations like the Revival drive and stuff like that. So the first pedal they sent is the MEQ driver, which is based on the old Pultec Studio EQ, which is a widely known EQ in the world of studio outboard gear, if you're not aware of it. It's pretty aggressive sounding EQ as far as I'm aware, but it's great. And what the MEQ driver does is it gives you a mid boost, which is cool, because we like mids, especially in guitars. But also it has drive on there, and you've basically got level, drive, mids, and cut with the adapt switch, and also there's a three-way toggle switch for different areas of mid that you're boosting. And the adapt switch is sort of linked to the cut control, because the cut essentially rolls off high end from the tone, and the adapt adjusts the amount of that roll off as you turn up and down that control. So that's the basic overview of what the MEQ driver does. And then we've got the DCX Boost, which is based on quite a famous preamp. It's the UA610 preamp. You know, I know of that preamp. I actually use the 4710D outboard rack thing, which is basically four of those in one. So in terms of what's on the pedal, you got level, drive, low cut, and high cut. And then there are two toggle switches. First toggle switch goes between EQ and overdrive. So you can think about the EQ more like it shapes the tone a little bit more of what you're putting it in front of. And then when you switch it over to overdrive, it just gives you, you know, gain, more overdrive. It's not super like influential over the whole sound of your amplifier, just blends really nicely. And then you've got a voice switch. It's an adaptive switch which essentially affects the kind of roll off depending on what amp you're putting it in front of. So you've got dark, medium, and flat. So that really depends on what the amp you're putting it in front of. You have a little flick around and it'll affect the way the pedal affects the amplifier. So that's what we've got. We've got the DCX Boost and we've got the MEQ driver. I don't want to get into a huge like review of where this sounds at 12 o'clock and all this kind of stuff. Really, this video is just based on the playing, but I've got the Kali 76 Stacked Edition, which is my all-time favorite compressor. That's first in the chain. Then we're running into the MEQ driver. Then we've got the DCX Boost out into the Kraken, VX Kraken, which has just been retubed actually by the wonderful Martin Kidd. And then in the loop, I've got the El Capistan from Strymon, and I've got the Golden Reverberator from Universal Audio. So it's a beautiful board, quite pokey on the old price if you were to add it all together. It wasn't my intention. But in any case, that's what we've got on the floor. I'm going to start with the Strat, and then I'm going to move across to my new Music Man Sabre. Pickups in my Strat are my new signature single coil triptych pickups from Bare Knuckle, and then in the Sabre, it's my signature silo humbuckers from Bare Knuckle pickups. I hope you enjoy this video, hope you enjoy the tones, and thank you to Origin Effects for sending these pedals across. Okay, so I've got my guitar set up. What you're hearing now is just guitar straight into the amp with the Strymon, Capistan, and the Golden Reverberator in the loop, so. Anyway, let me turn on the Kali 76 real quick so you can hear that. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn on the MEQ driver. So it drives quite high, the adapt switch is in, doing a bit of a cut, and I'm boosting the mids a little bit. So let's see what it sounds like. In terms of the mids we're boosting at the minute, it's 1.3. So let's listen. it sounds really good. I mean, kind of just how I'd set it up. I hadn't really, got involved a lot with playing before I started to shoot this video, but that is great. Let me just back off the drive. I mean, it's nice how much it cleans up. And with the compressor on, it's really nice how you've got that extra sustain. If I take the compressor off, with it back on. So I'm going to boost the mids, and then we'll mess around with that voice switch to see which area of the mid sounds best for this guitar. So that's 800 hertz with the mid on full, that mid boost. It's pretty pokey. Then 1.3. Sounds nice with the Strat. And then, what's that? 1K. Which is also nice. I'll back off the mids. I don't need that much mids. But then back on 800 might be a bit thicker. Yeah, it's nice and thick, that. I like it. Let's add more drive again. You're getting a little bit of that bottoming out thing, but I really like that. Let's put the drive on full. Oh, that's loud. I need to work out how loud to be in this new studio because it's different when you're using load boxes at home, and now I've got a cab cranked. Anyway, let's move across to the DCX Boost. So, back to our original tone with nothing engaged except the reverb and delay. I'm just going to turn on the DCX Boost how I had it set. Levels at halfway, drives at 3/4. The mode is in overdrive. And then the low frequencies at halfway and the high frequencies at like 2 o'clock. And the voice switch is at flat. So. So straight away, I'm digging that, but I might mess with the high frequency roll off a little bit. I know I like it in the flat position at the moment. Now I've boosted the low and the high to like 1 o'clock, so. So I went straight in to use the DCX Boost in the drive sense of what it does. Obviously the EQ mode is going to give us more subtle tones, but it's nice how thick you can make it, especially with the Strat having the low and the high cut. What might be cool to try is boost the mid-range with the MEQ driver. Drive is on full though, so I'm going to back that back down. This is what the MEQ driver is going to add to that DCX Boost tone you just heard. So this is without it, with it. So you can hear it's definitely got more mids. So let's put the DCX Boost on. Here comes the MEQ driver. So that's now really kind of screaming mids. Back to the DCX Boost. So this is I'm not going to touch anything other than the mode switch. So this is the drive. Now I'm going to switch it over to EQ. I like how dynamic it is, you know? So I'm going to switch guitars and let's see how they handle higher gain tones. So that's the sound of the guitar, just straight into the amp. Let's throw on the DCX Boost with the same settings we just had in EQ mode. I might add back some high end. quite powerful. Now let's try it in the overdrive mode. That is powerful, considering this is our tone. Back on the DCX Boost. With the compressor. Yeah, that's sick. That's the Cali 76 with the DCX Boost. So, MEQ driver, I'm gonna switch over to gain 2. So that's gain 2 now of the Kraken, and then I'm gonna throw on that MEQ driver. First thing I'm gonna do is roll back the cut and the drive. There's so much gain. I mean, if I'm honest, I enjoy the MEQ driver less in front of a high gain tone than I do when it was in front of that crunch channel. Because for me, I prefer a bit more thickness from the high gain, and it's taking that away. But let's try the DCX Boost, because that has an EQ mode. So both the low and the high cut are at 1 o'clock, and the drive and the level are at 12 o'clock. So this is what it sounds like without it. Let's throw on the DCX Boost. That's quite subtle. Let's roll off a bit more high frequency, boost a bit of low end. Without. With. I like that. Insane. In front of a high gain. This is the high gain as it was, which is pretty sick, but then you throw it on. I mean, that feels great in the room as well. It's like super punchy and like thick. Really, really dig that. I think that's probably enough of a demonstration. It's not really a demonstration. I got these pedals sent because I wanted to try them out, and I think they sound great. And in front of that amp, everything's working, sounding sick. So yeah, that will probably conclude this video. So let me know what you think in the comments section. If you got these pedals, I'm curious to know how you guys use them. So let me know in the comments. I'll link them, of course, in the description. And yeah, I enjoyed this one. I enjoyed it a lot. It's been a while since I've done this kind of thing. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. But please check out Origin Effects if you haven't before. And I will also say, please like, subscribe, share this video if you feel so inclined. Follow me on Instagram and check out my music on streaming platforms. Got new music on the way as well. So, new Totemist, new band, all the rest of it. Don't know why I'm telling you in this particular video. Should save it for an update video. In any case, I've been Rabea, and I'll see you all very soon.